You're listening to the Spark Your Light podcast, episode number 275. Anticipation is the best part. This episode is for you if you often feel like you don't want to get your hopes up because you don't want to be disappointed. Unfortunately, when we avoid these negative feelings like disappointment and being let down, we also avoid the positive feelings that come with getting our hopes up, like anticipation. So if you are someone who often tells yourself not to get your hopes up, keep listening. This episode might change your perspective. So I love this concept. And the reason is because when I go about my everyday life, I feel anticipation in so many areas of my life. It's this really positive feeling where I have goals that I'm working towards. I'm always, no matter what, I'm always a work in progress, and my life is always a work in progress because we might as well have this feeling of becoming a better version of ourselves, of creating our dream life forever. I don't want to achieve my dream life next year because what am I going to do the rest of my life? So my dreams are going to evolve with me. I want to achieve this version of my dreams, but I want them to continue to grow for my entire life. And so I always want to have things that I'm excited about that I'm creating. And through that process, I have a couple things. I have goals that I have my hopes up for. I have goals that I believe are possible for me. And I have goals that I am actively working towards in different areas of my life. And because of that, I live in a state of anticipation. It means that when I come downstairs to my kitchen, I think to myself, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the kitchen renovation that I've been dreaming about. Instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I hate these tile floors. They get so dirty. I can't wait to rip them up. I don't think that. I instead think about the anticipation of what's coming. When I am doing something in my business, let's say I'm working on my book, which if you don't know is about getting your hopes up in this whole concept. If I'm working on my book, instead of thinking, ugh, I have so far to go. I still have to finish my proposal. I need to find an agent. I need to get a publishing deal. And then it's going to take like 2 more years probably for the book to come out. It's such a slow process. I don't think any of that. I think, oh my gosh, can you believe that someday soon I'm going to walk into Target and see my book on the shelf? That's what I think. That's the anticipation. I think that pretty much every day. I think about that. And I think about the little goals, like if I am updating my wardrobe, that's a new thing I'm doing because I haven't bought myself new clothes since probably before I was pregnant. I wore lots of hand-me-down clothes for my pregnancy from my sisters. It's so nice having 2 older sisters. You get hand-me-downs for everything. And now Michael has lots of hand-me-down clothes, so it's so great. But I'm so ready now that I'm finally not pregnant and I'm still nursing, but I feel like I'm starting to feel like myself again. So I'm getting some new clothes and I'm the anticipation of, oh my God, what am I going to get? And I'm, just like looking at things online, adding stuff to my Amazon cart. I haven't bought anything yet. I'm like, oh my God, that's so exciting. It's nothing really. It's just a little small action I'm taking in my daily life, but the anticipation of it is just as exciting as when the clothes arrive and when I actually wear them. See, our life is always in evolution. We are always working towards the next step in our life, the next thing. And the anticipation of that thing can be the best part. But it can only be the best part if you allow yourself to get your hopes up, if you allow yourself to believe that you're going to have that thing. And then you start taking steps towards it. Because if you're not taking any steps towards it, then you really won't have the anticipation feeling because you don't think it's actually going to happen. The belief and the steps go hand in hand. If your hopes are up and there is genuineness behind that, meaning it's not just a blind wish, because that's not what we're talking about here, but instead it is something that you believe in and that you are doing your part for, then that is when you can create the feeling of anticipation. So my goal with this episode is for you to be more willing to get your hopes up, be more willing to believe in yourself, and do your part in taking the action steps if you're not already taking them, so that you can enjoy this part of anticipation. Now, in order for you to really get this concept, I want you to think about a time in your life that you had a lot of anticipation for. Maybe it was your wedding day or a big day in your life. Maybe going away to college, maybe your first day at a new job, maybe the birth of your child. Lots of anticipation for, lots of excitement, lots of joy surrounding that moment. And think about how fun it was every day to be like, oh my gosh, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. It's almost the wedding, it's almost the wedding. Or I know my mom, she recently retired, and she would always say, oh my gosh, it's coming up, it's getting closer, it's getting closer. And she would count down the days and she'd be so excited and so excited. Do you know how much joy she felt in the 2 months before she actually retired? Probably more joy than she felt the day after she retired. She's, oh, that's it? I'm retired now? So we feel so much joy in the buildup. And what that means for us is that we want to create that in daily life because we want to allow ourselves to feel that joy. So again, the ways that you're going to create that are getting your hopes up, setting goals that spark your light, that excite you, and starting to move towards them. Ultimately, that's what it is. It's designing a life that sparks your light, and it's letting yourself feel good even before you get there. And this is the final key point of today's topic. Sometimes people make themselves feel bad until they have the thing they want. They try to bully themselves into changing their life. They feel like they're not enough until they've achieved certain goals. And so they suffer and they miss out on this anticipation piece. So in order to really reap the benefits of this, you have to let go of all of that. It's a concept I like to call be happy now. Instead of saying, I will be happy when, which is the most common mentality. And I know you've struggled with it. I know I've struggled with it for a lot of years. A lot of years. I told myself, I'll be happy when. It started when I was in college. I said, I'll be happy when I have a boyfriend. And then I started dating Richie, and I was really happy in my relationship. But I wanted to start a business. I had another goal. And I said, I'll be happy when I start my business. And then I started the business. And then I had another goal. I'll be happy when the business makes X dollars to be able to pay me a salary. And then I hit that goal. And it was, and then I'll be happy when we buy a house. And then we bought a house. And then I'll be happy when we get married. And then we got married. And then I'll be happy when I get pregnant. And then I got pregnant. And I'll be happy when this pregnancy's over, right? It could just go on and on and on and on forever. But I actually put an end to it. I put an end to it sometime in the early years of building the business. I realized that I was just on this treadmill because every business goal I set, I immediately wouldn't be happy until I reached it. And then I would let myself be happy for like a day or two. And then I would set the next goal and I wouldn't be happy again, at least in that area of my life. I would feel like, I got to get to this thing. And it was this pressure and stress. And I let all of that go. And now I'm so excited about what I'm building. I have these goals, but I'm just so happy for where I am now. Why? Because I'm not where I was 2 years ago or 5 years ago, because I created this, because I'm proud of myself for every step I put in. So this comes from a bit of showing up for yourself. It can create a feeling of pride and joy. It comes from reflecting on how far you've already come. And it also comes from living your best life now, romanticizing your life, doing the little things, doing the things that make you happy. I always say, are there any upgrades you can make in your life that will make you 10 times happier? And whether they involve spending money or not, it might just be, I'm going to deep clean my bathroom because every time I go in there, I think, this bathroom needs to be cleaned. And I'm just going to take a couple hours on a Saturday morning and deep clean it. And I will feel 10 times happier every time I walk in the bathroom. Great. You should do that. You should schedule that into your calendar. So think about what those things are. Or maybe it's like, man, I absolutely hate the socks I have. They have holes in them. They're worn. And I just want to order a new pack of socks on Amazon. I don't know why I haven't done it. Order the socks. You wear socks every single day. You're going to think about it every time you put them on, and it's going to feel so good. So what are the things that you can do right now, today, in the present moment that help you enjoy the present moment more, that help you enjoy your life more? How can you choose more joy in each moment for your circumstances, for your life? I'll often ask myself, what is going to be joyful right now? And sometimes it's just listening to a podcast while I fold the laundry instead of being like, oh, there's so much laundry to put away. It's so overwhelming. But all of a sudden I'm listening to a podcast, something I'm really excited to listen to. And I'm like, oh, this is so fun. I'm listening to this podcast. I feel good. I'm enjoying this episode. I'm getting the laundry done. It feels so good to have all my laundry put away. And all of a sudden your attitude starts to change. So it's those little things that make a huge difference. And when you can do those things, what happens is you are in a more joyful state in everyday life. You're not chasing your goals for happiness. And that opens the door to this anticipation piece, because now all the dots start to connect. The better you feel, the better you feel. It just goes up and up and up and up. And you can spiral up instead of spiraling down. So try out these things. Try out getting your hopes up. Try out letting yourself live in the anticipation and letting it feel good and feel fun. And just see how it goes. It's not worth avoiding disappointment in order to never feel joy. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And I will catch you in the next episode of the Spark Your Light podcast. Great.